So hey there, my flesh and blood friends. So Steve and I just got done shooting a commoner video. We're talking Illusionist, or the lack thereof, in the commoner competitive meta, whatever that means. Yeah. So this video may end up being, it's at least going to be a team video. Depending on how it goes, it might be a public video.
It might.
It's really up to you, my friend.
Yeah, we'll see how much I drink.
That's not true at all. No, that's not true. But so we are actually here on, it's 5 p.m. our time on release or world premiere. I keep doing that wrong. World premiere. And Steve's been at work since, super early. And he hasn't seen any of these. So I thought it might be really fun to just do kind of an ad hoc. We're here. There's no kids in the house, although to be fair, they might come in at some point. They might. So
just be ready.
We'll see. So let's get on this. So we're on February. We are working this side. I'll do the card edits on the other side. So I'll do my best. Yeah. But Schism of Chaos is the Fable. So this is a legendary.
The Fable.
Chaos resource gem. So what's very interesting about that is we didn't really see any Chaos cards out of this set, right? Chaos is the new talent.
Yeah.
But you're really limited to, this is functionally a hero. It's functionally right now a spec Fable.
Yeah.
Right.
Only for the Slip Through the Cracks.
No, with Marionette.
Oh, Marionette. Yeah.
So that's interesting. So Schism of Chaos, when this is pitched, each hero shuffles, then puts the top card of their deck face down into their arsenal. Now, what I should have done before we sat down was looked up if you can put it in. I should have looked at the release notes. I didn't.
No, we can do this cold.
I'm going to assume that if your arsenal's full, you can't put a card there.
I would agree with that.
Seems right. But that's interesting. Because it happens on pitch. It doesn't cost you an action to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So what's really scary about this is we're all very aware of the 2-card combo of Frailty and Leave No. Right? So you could, in theory, pitch this to a dagger and then Leave No, making them put something in their arsenal. I mean...
It's a new... Codex, yeah.
Well, it's not the same at all.
But it's not at all.
Yeah,
but it's like the
it's interesting, right?
Let's get a card in there, and then let's knock it out.
Do you think that Assassin plays this without? I mean, so many of Assassin's cards block 3. Like, do you think they play this? I don't know that they do.
That's always like, I feel like there's a whole video on just like Fables and like what kind of play they actually get, but to get a free card into your arsenal, like if that's the case,
your opponent gets one too.
It's pretty situational.
Yeah.
You have to make sure they have one.
Yeah.
And then you got to make sure you don't have one.
Right.
So I don't know.
Have you seen Hunter's Clave?
Nope.
So once per turn action for 2. So to be fair, this was actually a spoiler card.
Okay.
But it's the standard dagger template. Or standard assassin dagger template, 2 attack, go again with piercing. But when this hits a hero, mark them.
Okay.
I think this completely changes all of maybe not all of the problem statements, but so many of the problem statements of, is marking worth it or not? Like, you just pack 2 of these things, you can flick it and mark, then backfill with graphene celery.
Yeah.
This seems really good.
Yeah, how many times have there been conversations up to leading this about like, well, but how easy is it to mark someone? How can we mark someone? Is it going to be possible? Is it going to be probable? And that's probably going to be the primary source of it.
Yeah, I think if you're... I don't know how heavy the constructed decks end up leaning into marked going forward in perpetuity, right? But this seems like if you have anything that even implies being marked, you run this, right?
Because you get, again, the fealty pops. No, I'm sorry. The hero.
You're talking the mark.
Yeah, mark. Yeah, the mark leaves once you hit it. So once you finish your turn,
and it's hit, not deal damage, to be clear. But
yes,
throwing a dagger counts as being hit.
Yeah. So it's like you need to begin the turn somehow with them being marked to make all these marked things work. So this is a great fire starter for the marked.
Oh, don't use fire! Don't use fire starter.
I did that on purpose.
You're going to confuse people. Yeah, you did that intentionally.
Yeah, I did.
Have you seen Kiss of Death? Oh yeah, I texted you about this last night.
This
card's so freaking stupid, dude.
This is the one with the toxicity that I'm so freaking flipping out about.
So this card is a dagger attack,
but also an attack action card. Somehow it's both or it's all of it. And all the effects apply to it, and it can be toxicity applies to it. And you
can flick it as a dagger, and it counts as an action having hit.
Yeah,
this card is so gonna get banned someday.
Yeah, it's too much. It's
to be clear, it probably won't.
It probably won't. No, but
this card is stupid good.
It's like, oh yeah, well, anything you want to do, it applies to all that. So it is going to be so fun to see the interactions of all the on hits that apply for both of those lines. Yeah.
I shot that video. I think it came out, not of when this is going live, but it came out 3-4 days ago about how Orb Weaver Spinneret. I was like, I'm calling it now. Best functional card in the set. That is liar, pants on fire. Yeah. This card's
This is the one that does all the things. Yeah. You're like, oh, well, you don't have a dagger to throw. Well, you have a card that can work that way. Yeah.
Wow. So my spoiler card, Take Out the Mantle, I know you've seen that. I think that's really good, especially in context of Hunter's Glaive.
I think
being able to on-demand mark, I think is really strong.
I think it looks like I'm not. Man, correct me if I'm wrong, people. But that looks like the most fun card.
Depends on which side of the table you're
playing. Yeah, like if you're playing it and it works out, this is the kind of thing that you all of a sudden it becomes. I'm sorry, I'm losing my memory here. The any of the attacks you want, like Leave No Witness, right? Mm-hmm. Or what's the blue? What's the blue that everyone likes? Surgical Extraction.
They have to do stealth.
Oh,
you have to cut. Yeah. Those are contract. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But you can do Prognosis, Persuasive, bonds of it. Persuasive, Prognosis, or bonds.
Yes, the stealth. Okay.
I think you want to go the other direction. I think you want to go from a blue to a red, because then you copy everything, including the base, but you don't remove anything that you've done to that attack.
No, yeah, it's so much for, like, as far as mind games go. This thing will just make the person sweat. I'm going to be the one sweating. I know. I'm going to be on the side table, but it's so fun. I love the design. It's so good.
So, and at very minimum, I think you need to play probably 2 of these, because you want your opponent to see it in your list, so that any card that goes in your drink, they have to worry about the effects of.
Yep.
And like that is, to your point on the mind game, like that is big.
Yeah, and that does make it fun. Like, there's gonna be so many times when someone's gonna be like, "Hey, can I just take a look at that graveyard real quick?" Yeah.
Well, we've got Orb Weaver. I'm sorry. I'm highlighting the cards we've already talked about, but what I wanted to go is show you cards you might not have seen yet. So there's Stains of the Redback. So this is a 1-drop assassin attack reaction, blocks 3. If the defending hero is marked, it costs 1 less to play.
Okay.
Target attack with stealth gets +3 and go again. So it's a razor. It's at cost without reduction. It's a razor reflex on a stealth card.
Yeah, and it might be better.
Yeah, and to be clear, it works on Graphene Celery too.
Oh, because
it doesn't say target attack action, so it's target attack with stealth is razor reflex,
and Graphene is the dagger with stealth. Oh my goodness!
And this could potentially be free.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, Graphene Celery, just to put in context, Graphene Celery would already have the thing if they're marked. Like, we get it, but still, like, this card's pretty freaking good.
That's going to be the auto include,
and it is a rainbow, which is interesting. The fact that it blocks 3, like running it as a blue, it is a rare though. So for commoner, it's not relevant.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe you don't run it as a blue because you probably just run blue shred, but. The go again part is very interesting. I
can see the yellow. I can see some red and yellow in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't you just run Razor though?
Yeah. I'm crazy. Yeah. I'm crazy enough to try it.
So another thing I want to point out. So what's interesting? Backstab was reprinted.
Yeah.
As a common. What used to be a rare. So Backstab is now common, but only in the red.
Oh.
Only in the red. But that's very interesting for commoner.
Yeah.
Right?
I I did not know it had been reprinted. This is coming to me.
The whole premise was, this is the first time you've seen this.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's very interesting that it's only the red.
Yeah.
Because
not rainbow.
The arc before was rare.
Yeah.
But I think this is a big deal for ASC, who has always been common or legal, but sucky.
ASC. Yeah. That was, oh my god. That opens up so much. A whole new stealth attack.
Yeah, no, we've got a whole range. If we went through every card, we'd be here for 3 hours, right? But there's Scuttle the Canal, which is when this attacks a marked hero, gets go again. So the reason this one is interesting as a common is that if you use your first attack, so your ASC, for example, use your first attack, somehow mark them, or throw a dagger. Use your first attack and then throw a dagger to mark them.
Yep.
Then you can Scuttle the Canal. Go again. Go again. Yeah. You get it. Anyway, it's not super good. And then Razor's Edge is reprinted.
Yes.
Only as a red.
Only again. I actually heard somehow I heard about it, that this was getting. I think it was you. I don't know. Someone mentioned this was probably going to get reprinted.
Because this was already a common.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I said I thought it would get reprinted.
Okay,
yeah, that's true, but not only as a red. So I think that's very interesting.
As a red.
From a limited standpoint, it's only as a red, right? And the fact that, this would imply that it would have roughly a 1/3 frequency.
Yeah.
Not to itself as a red, but as a card, it would have 1/3. It's not like they're going to print it 3x. I wouldn't think. I think that's pretty much it. We do have Hunted or Hunter, which is a common, but it's a defense reaction trap. So when this defends and the attacking hero has played or activated an attack reaction, they lose 1. So it's kind of Riptide Spec. Obviously, it's not blue.
Yeah, and it's it's so interesting that it's an assassin trap. They're leaving Riptide.
Well, remember in Outsiders, most of the Ranger traps were assassin Ranger traps. Obviously not Riptides, but Frailty Trap and stuff were all assassin Ranger.
Yes. Oh, so they're just building up on that archetype. Okay.
So before we go into Syndra, we're going to go into the deep dive into the generics. And I hope I can find it, because I got to scroll way down.
The generics are always specifically very interesting to me, to see.
All right, screw it. I can't find it in the moment. Okay. So we'll just go back up to Syndra.
Yeah,
there's an insane card. Don't worry, we'll get there. So Ignite, I really like this one. The math on this one is bad, but the function on this one's really strong. So when this attacks, so it's a 2.
Just attack. Yeah.
It's a 0/2 with goes, which is below rate. But when this attacks an extra Draconic card you play or activate, meaning you could do a dagger or Searing Emberblade, would cost 1 less to play or activate.
Okay, that is going to be...
And because it's a fire starter.
Yeah, there you go. For a
right. I think this card's really strong, but not overtly strong. I think it's a functional card that makes other really crazy things happen.
No, you're right. That this is setting up your turn. This is and throwing the 2. You could have something with a lot less actually start something like that, and the fact that it actually even attacks for 2 and then makes sure.
Well, it's on rate, right? Because you would have a 0/3 that blocks 2 that starts your chain, right?
Yeah.
You have multiple of those, already.
It just brings it back to a different possibility.
But Ignite lets you mounting anger for free on your next one.
Yeah.
Unconditionally. And I don't think anybody's going to block it 2 as your fire starter.
No.
They're going to take 2. And I think for me, that's the biggest thing on Syndra is looking at her is I think it's going to be really hard to keep Syndra off of her mask triggers because she can always flick to keep the hit alive.
That's the big...
Right? Because that's always the thing, right? It's like, Kodachi, action, block the action. It's shut off. Well...
But the dagger comes,
right.
The thing's still alive, and the mask,
So the rest of these we've already seen. Again, to be clear to the folks on the other side, I'm not trying to skip ahead to anything. I'm just trying to, for the usage of time. What is interesting, so Burning Blade Dance, this is basically the hurl for Syndra that's also Draconic. So if you control 2 or more Draconic links, this gains go again, and when this hits a hero, you can flick a dagger. So it's essentially a hurl. Hurls at 0/3 goes, but costs 1 to flick. This is free, but it's draconic, so that's fine. But this is not. It's a red only. And what's interesting about this is we really only got one other flick card. So she's, in my opinion, she's a little lighter on flick cards than I thought she would be.
Interesting. So we have that, and it's Blood of the. What is the other one?
Oh, that's true. Well, yeah, there's Blood Runs Deep, which is the
Blood Runs Deep.
That's true.
But you're thinking commoner?
Yeah. Well, no, I was thinking fundamental cards. But you're right. So she has 3. You're right. You're right. This card is interesting. So hot on her hands. This is going to look amazing in foil.
Oh, damn, yeah.
Right. But if you control 2 or more Draconic Chain Links, gets go again, and when this hits a hero, mark them. But it's a 0/3 block 3. The block 3 is very interesting on this because it doesn't fit the mold.
Yeah.
It seems in this set they've been very liberal. Liberal is not the right word, but they've been very unpredictable with... Because you look at, like, Fang.
Yeah.
Historically inconsistent doesn't mean it's inconsistent, because I'm sure there's consistency to how they're doing it. But in this set, you see, like, Warrior has historically enjoyed a lot of 3 blocks.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of their thing, and they have a lot of 2 blocks in this set. And all of a sudden, we've got ninjas, Draconic ninjas even, with 3 blocks.
Yeah.
Interesting to me.
That is interesting. So, like, the bigger blocks are trying to, like, play to, like, go and keep the game going longer. And then the 2 blocks are trying to be like, no, we go harder and heavier. This, though, does both. This... If you control 2, you mark them, you get the go again, and you have 3 block.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good stuff.
I wonder because historically, cards that start combo have a 2 block, cards that are combo have 3 block. So I wonder if they're not considering for this set a card that continues a Draconic Chain to be a combo card.
Unless they're thinking that just the dagger would be enough. Or, I'm sorry, not
well, I mean,
dagger,
this has 3 block.
Yeah.
So,
not the dagger, but, you know...
you're saying the mark? Or?
Yeah, or just, like, to be able to mark something with another way. Like, again, I haven't seen the whole set.
Yeah.
Unless there's other starters that...
And then I just want to point out, mark with magma is the... first off, that's brutal, but it's an iteration. So it's this was the one we just looked at was a 0/3. This is a 1/4, and they're functionally the same.
Okay, yeah,
right. So there's quite a few ways in this set to mark folks.
Yeah, that's
right. Which I think was our concern.
That was the overriding concern that I feel like for a month since we've had like. The words show up and everything, and there was all the conversation was like, we don't know. Is it gonna be? We don't know. Sounds like we have about 3 or 4 different really solid ways.
And that's within class.
Within Ninja. Yeah. Just to get that going.
So this card came out. So we have the whole art of. So Cinderclaw, by the way, was not reprinted. I had called that it would be. It was not, but it makes sense. It actually, in retrospect, it makes sense with fealty being a thing. If you're trying to play to fealty, you shouldn't want Cinderclaw. That's an advantage, right? But we have Dragon Power. So when this attacks, and this is, I believe this is Carlo Opal. Shout out to him. I believe this was his spoiler, and this is going to look phenomenal in foil.
That orange always looks like the yellows pop. Like, oh my goodness.
But Dragon Power, 1 for 4, which in of itself is 1 for 4 blocks 3, which in of itself is fine for Ninja. But when this attacks, if it's Draconic, gain +3. This is a rare, so this is not a commoner card.
It can't be.
But like, you like brand a Cinderclaw into this.
My God.
Brand of Cinderclaw, actually, it would be Brand of Cinderclaw into Searing Emberblade, into Draconic Power, and that would eat a 3. Or 2 daggers into something.
Yeah,
I mean, just like this card's so crazy.
What an ender. What an absolute, just big wall ender.
I mean, because the Tiger one was She Unleashed is 2 for 3 +4, so it's a 2 for 7.
Yeah, it's a 2 for 7, yeah.
And then this is a 1 for 7. What?
It's granted they're like, well, it's Draconic, so it only works to Draconic, but already I feel like they have so many hot tools. Yeah.
Silver Talon. So what's interesting, I want to point out, this is not Draconic. So when this attacks a hero, if it is draconic, well, I mean, I guess that's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But when this hits a hero, if it's draconic, you may have target dagger you control deal 1 damage to them. So this is the other flick option.
That's the one. Yeah.
For her, right? There are other flick options available, but for her, this is interesting. But what's interesting about this is this does not have goes, but it's a 0/4.
It's a 0/4, yeah.
But no goes.
I guess that makes sense because if you're...
This seems like a bad Rupture card to me.
It's a...
and I know
Rupture.
That you don't have to have the 4 links, I get it, but...
Because Rupture can be, like, even, like, stacked even higher.
Well, like, Rupture's, like, generally a 5.
Yeah.
Right?
You can go even
a 2
higher.
plus 3, Searing... Actually, Searing's 1 for 6, so yeah, 5.
Yeah, and this can be 4 for the, the one dagger hit.
Yeah, I mean, and to be clear, if your dagger's already going to blow up, then you may as well chuck it.
Yeah.
But without go again, like, I don't know about that one. And it's a rare, so that seems not great. This one's interesting. So Fire 10 at first strike is a 0/3 with goes. It's not draconic, but when it attacks, your next draconic gets +1. Okay. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But it's ninja, because I think Fi would actually, Fang would actually like that.
Oh, yeah, Fang would love that.
Yeah. Speaking of Fang, let's move into him.
Here we are.
I don't know. I mean, everybody knows this point. I'm pretty negative on Fang. He's got some very interesting things going on, though, but I think they're all not unexpected. So, Hunt's End, play this only if you control 3 or more fealty. Target dagger attack gets +4. It's attack reaction, though, so it's what he needs for his dagger. But you still have to have your 3 fealties.
True, and when you get the 3 fealties for him, dragons
You're swinging
are
free.
Free, yeah.
So it would be a free...
Sorry, dragons.
Because his dagger's a base 1, a +1 goes.
Yep.
And then his daggers are free.
So that'd be a 6 goes.
So, like, if you can get him turned on...
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, he's ready.
Right.
He's ready to go. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
But that is a challenge to keep those going. But that is an amazing, like, 6 goes, that, like, for 1 card. That's pretty great.
Yeah, because to be clear, it would be free, but it wouldn't get the +1 goes until he swings. So it'd be a free 1.
Oh, okay.
Or, sorry, not until he swings, excuse me, until you play Hunt's End.
Yeah.
Or whatever reaction. And to that point, we've got Long Whisker Loyalty we've seen. We have a Firm Loyalty. I love the art on this. It's target dagger gets +2. If you control 2 or more, create a fealty. Seems pretty manageable.
Yeah, and that's 1 extra way.
And this one's a rare, so it's it's not super common, pun intended, in draft, but it's manageable in a 3. Because remember, ASC is not draftable; it's only Marionette's draftable.
Oh yeah.
So it's a 3 hero draft set, likely split roughly 50-50. But this should be pretty manageable to get 1 or 2 of in an 8 pod, I would think. Other ones that are of note, like, again, you see a lot of 1-ofs that are all red, which shouldn't be too surprising. This one's interesting. So dynastic dedication. We're very dedicated to the Emperor.
Look at that art.
No, the art's pretty badass, right?
Damn.
Costs 1 less to play for each draconic link you control, and it's a reaction, so you get to count your current reaction, or your current link, excuse me. Target dagger gets +3. So in general, this is coming in for... It's either a 1 for 3, which is on curve, or a 0 for 3, which would be fine, but you would have had to have had another card on a previous
just to get those going. Yeah. Interesting.
But other than that, there's not too much I see here. You've seen the helm, I assume.
Yes, I have. There's so many. There's people have already like done some videos on this, and I could not wait to watch them.
Well, Josh and the TCG, the TCGs.
No, that was huge.
The TCGs.
Yeah. These guys, they covered it so effectively, so quickly. I was like, oh my goodness, thank you. But yes, they're correct. Warrior needs good helmets. They need them. And it doesn't work with everybody, but it sure will work in limited.
I think this will probably long term end about the same price as Bologna's helm. would be my guess. Like, I don't think this is super high demand. Probably like a $20 legendary would be my guess.
No, already warrior is not like people don't rush to warrior.
I'd still probably rather play crown so that I can, like, if I end up IPing myself because of a reprise, I can, you know, get some value out of the crown would be my guess. But have you, speaking of art, Searing Gaze, target dagger gets +2, right? So that's kind of what I had said. I had said that like a couple weeks ago, that with Fang, I think his curve will be like 0-2.
Oh.
But if you control Trumo, when this hits 0, mark them.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it pushes it to 4 on an attack react.
My God, they have such talent.
He's looking this into your soul. And that's Matus, by the way. So he's regularly at convention and stuff.
Really?
Signed, so which is kind of cool.
Someone's going to get some ink on that card.
Other than that, there was nothing that popped out to me that I thought you'd be interested on the warrior side. Oh, let's look like that. Stabbing pain.
Oh my God!
It's a 1/3 on Mark.
Sorry. It's so fun looking at the art, even though like I have to like take a second and be like, all right, leave the art alone. Let's see what the card does.
I was like, I don't really want to talk about this card, but the art though.
Yeah.
So we've got a bunch, like there's a whole bunch of dagger stuff on this. Hunt a Killer. So this is warrior, straight warrior. So not irrelevant for Emperor, actually.
No, yeah.
Your next dagger attack gets +4, and when 0, mark them. I actually take it. I don't think it's not irrelevant for Emperor, but like I don't think Emperor can pitch 2 to swing daggers, but. It's I don't know. It's interesting. Like a 1/4. Like remember how hard everybody got when Cleave came out? Like This is a common.
Then it's there. It's +4 just for 1.
So I think that's pretty decent. Have you seen the Draconic Boots?
I've seen the picture. I'm reading through it.
Yeah. So instant for 3, destroy it. Target Draconic attack gets goes. If it's a weapon or ally, you can attack with it in additional time this turn. So you could attack with your dragon for free in additional time, dude. And it costs 1 less to activate for each Draconic link you control.
And there you go. I was like, and instantly, I was.
But you have to blow it up.
Yeah, I was upset about the 3 little red dots there. I was like, what's going on here? And then
it's got warrants. You get 1 out of it. I think a lot of people are going to like this. I think that for Fi, you probably still play Snappies because giving Snatch Snappies, because Snatch wouldn't qualify. Yeah. But
Snatch and Snappies are the classic.
So a lot of this other stuff we've seen. Blaze Headlong, by the way, is reprinted at red only.
Okay.
Actually, it was only at only existed
it's always
as
only
red.
A red, right?
Yeah, fair.
And Blaze, it's such a. I love it as a crucial card.
Yeah. Okay, and then there's the equipment. So there's kind of a. I mean, the equipment usually follows a series. So there's the Leapfrog Vocal Sack.
Oh.
Stay out of my sack. But when an opponent plays or activates an attack reaction, you can add this to the active chain. I think that'll work great in draft because of Fang. I think otherwise.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's a counter because it's Assassin Ninja, so Warrior can't play it, right? So.
All these like wonderful cards that are like perfect for limited, and then in any other situation you don't want to touch them. Yeah.
So up sticks and run. So you may retrieve a dagger from your graveyard. So retrieve. I mean, I didn't look at the Wreath's notes, but it says pay 1 to equipment. So retrieve clearly means that you can pay 1 to equip a dagger from your graveyard.
What an odd, like.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't just write that.
Yeah,
but it's a 0/4 for daggers.
Okay.
Like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like it comes in with a card, and then you immediately, you have to pitch, 3 to make the dagger.
Yeah, but what's neat is, like, it's, in a way, it's its own 1 for 5.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is, yeah.
So that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's the card. Okay, so I'm going to talk way too long on this. So Poison Blade. So this is an attack.
Okay.
Assassin Ninja, 1 for 3, blocks 2. Whenever a dagger you own hits a hero of this combat chain, they lose 1.
Oh.
There you go. So let's think about this with Syndra and Bloods Run Deep.
This is a 1 for 7.
So off of a blue, you can go Poison Blade, Syndra's dagger, Blood Runs Deep, Chuck. A Chuck is considered a hit, so they would not only take the 1, they would take the life loss. Then you could, because you'd be at 3, re-equip with Syndra.
For free at that point.
And keep going.
Oh my god. This is going to be the...
because you can, and then you have Flick Knives active. Yeah. And as you stack your instants, right? So you can Blood Runs Deep, equip them, and before Blood Runs Deep attacks, flick. I think that's how that works.
And they still would get...
And the flick would then take the 1 with a life loss. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then 1 threatening 2, 1 threatening 2, Blood Runs Deep with a chuck, each with a health loss, a re-equip, and then a chuck with a health loss.
With the health loss, so that's...
Off of a blue.
Minimum... Yeah.
Right?
Is this like by itself?
This is not a deck. No, this is not a deck.
Okay, yeah. I was like, hold on, I need to reread this.
But keep in mind that you could do this into Kill Team or whatever the heck, the one that the dagger attack. But
yeah, Kiss of Death. Kiss of Death. Yeah. My God, this is so fun. They're making
these cards are common, by the way.
Yeah, they're making flicking so fun.
Don't worry, Flick Knives will be a common in the next set.
I was gonna say everyone's got a copy of that stowed away. Yeah.
You should have. It used to be a $15 card. I've been telling you all for 2 years
for
that was an underplayed line.
This is a long game. Yeah, it really was. I remember you saying. I remember a conversation with you where you were saying you were like Flick Knives is. I can see where they made it, and then they had to like nerf it for the final. And I think they were like, no, we're not that they made it overpowered, but they're like, now we're going to play with it even more now. And it's just the way it should be right now.
So I'm not trying to gloss over the set by any means, but in interest of time, there's this whole swath here of like target dagger gets plus, target dagger gets plus, target dagger gets plus and do a thing, target dagger gets plus, whatever, you get it. Like there's a whole bunch of dagger love. You've seen these boots, the quick dodge flexors.
I saw a flash of the art. I have not seen.
So the D-React for 1, add this to the active Chain Link as a defending card. It has base 2. So the way this has been ruled, so it's not like the other one. It's not like the Ram Shield, where the Chain Link has to be broken. This can just pop. You pay 1 to it, it just pops chains.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so this could so you blow it up after it's done, but off of a blue, this could potentially block 6 as long as they go 3 wide.
So it works like that in that you paid it, it's got the 2, and then it can
because you wait for it to be resolved, and obviously it has to be resolved before they move to the next one.
It goes back,
and then you just pay to it again. It hops, skips, and jumps to the next link.
So you pay
and you
for
got another one floating. This is pretty crazy.
I was gonna say they really did a great job of making things like if you play it correctly, the value is great. It's not like you could play it incorrectly and get like nothing out of it or not much out of it, but if you play it correctly, it will. It's like the
you still gotta have a card slot.
The Kabuto or something. Yeah, you do have a card slot too.
Yeah. Razor's red only. Reprint.
Oh yeah.
Sigils red only reprint.
There it is.
Sigil soulless, I should say. So this is very interesting. Calming Breeze. The next 3 times you would be dealt damage, prevent 1 of that damage.
So it would be 1 times 1 or 1 plus 1 plus 1.
Assuming they
attack with.
Dagger, whatever, right?
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
good ways new ways to prevent the kind of damage that's coming at you in that scene way.
So we have a couple interesting cards here. First off, I'm going to lead with the card that I like most in the set because it's just a straight up wounded blow that.
0 for 4.
It's an 0/4 block 3 that functionally does what you want. It's perfect.
Yeah,
right? It's perfect for the set. It's not good.
But
it's perfect.
It actually it's the card for the set, or like it basically is like
perfectly appropriate, right? Rotten Remains. So I don't know if you've seen this. When this attacks, you may banish a card with 1 base from each hero's graveyard. So you would have to get a 1 from each hero in order to move to the next. If you do, this gets +1. Then repeat the process. You can keep milling.
Oh, wow.
Milling's not the right, but whatever. You can keep doing the thing.
But removing cards from
and it would keep gaining power. I don't know if it's good or not. What I don't like about this is that at Majestic level, there is a banishable... Because having your daggers get banished in Limited is going to just lose you the game.
Yeah.
Right? So I actually don't like this card in this set at all, because it seems like if you pull this, or if you were able to draft it, you just kind of like destroy your opponent.
It's you shut them down for the entirety of it.
And I guess it doesn't hurt Fang because he's not banishing, but like Cinder's just toast.
Yeah, her kunais are gone.
So I really don't like this card. Not that I don't like the card itself, but I don't like the inclusion of it in this set from a Limited point of view.
Interesting. Yeah, I would agree with you there. You don't want to shut anyone down immediately like that. That's like a silver bullet kind of situation.
Well, it's not even silver bullet because you just get lucky.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like, in Limited, it's just like, oh, I drew it. I'm good to go because everyone's going to play Syndra.
Have you seen this one?
This is the one that I did see.
Yeah, the Pirates. Everyone's excited about.
Everyone's excited about
Shout out to our boy Steven.
Hell yeah. That is
Parrot.
Amazing. All of a sudden, it takes the place.
Sync Below will always be the best D-React.
Oh,
false.
Yeah, I love Sync Below.
One up.
You never get rid of Sync Below, because it's
you play this instead.
But this means
not instead, in addition. Sorry.
No, in addition, yeah. But this means you don't have to sideboard an extra card to deal with those pings. You're like, no.
Wizards.
Yeah. Whatever
like
we do.
You can leave a red D-React in against Wizard.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It saves you a slot.
It's probably only going to convert to 2 in that case, right? Yeah. But still.
I will take it. And I love the art. I love pirate theme coming. I'm sure people are thinking, and just immediately I see that and I think Trench, right? And so I'm like, okay, it's coming. Right? So somebody's doing something with pirates down the line, and it's fun to look at.
So we have dual threat. If you've attacked with a weapon, the next attack action gets +3. If you've attacked with attack action, your next weapon gets +3. So that's like kind of a Runeblade-esque type thing in a way, right? Like if you've done this.
It's too bad this wasn't in heavy hitters. I feel like that would have been a real good spot to be in heavy hitters.
I think it might actually be better in this because like you could Fang into Blaze Headlong.
Yeah, no, it works very well in here. It makes me wish that like a warrior or like Olympia with all of his stuff could use it. He could still use it, of course, but what I mean is like it feels like it could have been slotted very easily in there. It's
interesting, right? It's interesting.
Probably only good Limited. Yeah.
Oh no, because it's a Majestic, so it's not going to be functional and Limited, right?
Oh yeah.
But I understand what you're saying. Actually, you're right, but not. But your statement was correct. Your practicality.
Yeah. That's the way it always is.
Whatever. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. We did get all of the... Is there anything else I wanted to cover with you? I mean, I'm sure I'm skipping something. So, Sound the Alarm's interesting. When this attacks a hero, they can reveal their hand if an attack reaction is revealed. But it's reveal their hand. So, they don't have a choice. It's not like one of those things where they can like choose to not show you. They show you their hand. If an attack reaction card is revealed this way, search your deck for a D-React, reveal it, shuffle it, and put it on top. So, you'll draw it next turn.
So, you like prepare for their attack reaction next turn.
Right. And it's a 1/5 that blocks 3. So like it's potential Ira fodder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good or not. But it's interesting.
I love the spice of it. I love the you're playing a lot of attack reacts. I got that coming.
All right, so let's go down into the expansion slots. So, Rolling Fissure. Destroy an aura with cost X or less, and you can destroy a seismic surge. We've seen that one, sorry. Destroy an aura with X or less, then you can destroy a seismic surge you control if you do repeat the bosses, but you pay into it, so.
Valda.
Better.
Valda versus Enigma.
Yeah, so you just trade them. That's fine. Misfire Dampener. So, this one's new. Mech equipment arms, block 1, but it's blade break.
Blade break.
Destroy this, prevent the next 1 arc that would be dealt to you this turn. If you boost it, instead prevent the next 2. So it has to be used on your turn.
If you boosted this turn, so it says only against wizards.
On your turn.
It seems like a real...
Yeah. Do you know how many of these we're pulling in our case? Like a bunch of them.
Yeah, of course. It's going to be a bunch because it's not the one we want. Yeah.
Now, this one's interesting. So, null time zone. It's like me trying to talk to LSS. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I'm not. But it just takes, 2 days with the time zones.
Yeah.
Enters the arena with 2 steam counters. At the start of your turn, destroy it unless you remove a steam counter from it. Okay.
Good old Crane.
When it enters the arena, name a card. Name card can't be pitched or played from hand while this is in the arena.
Can't be pitched or played.
Right.
So this is a better sensor.
Well, I mean, you're not dealing damage, but I mean,
but you can't pitch it either.
The person like Data Doll is just like this is a blue. Nom, nom, nom.
Yeah.
Like
she's fine. Yeah.
She's like, I'll just call in Blitz. I'll call whatever your card that hurts me the most is.
Whatever. Yeah, just blanket CNC. Why not?
I mean, honestly, like with Data Doll, like doesn't she call one of your D-Reacts?
Yeah,
just tries to land a boom grenade.
Yeah. She's like, I don't want you to like throw something on top of it. Yeah.
We had all the others. This one's new. Douse and Runeblood. So it's a 1/4 Runeblade. Blocks 3 though. When this attacks, create rune chant tokens equal to the number of non-attacks you've played this turn. If 3 or more are created this way, it gets go again. So probably this is a
pretty niche.
It's probably Florian.
Florian.
Because he'll get you the extra. Like, in what scenario are you playing 3 non-attacks?
Yeah, because you have to have something to pitch, and also you have to have the 3 cards there. That's a pie in the sky kind of situation.
Yeah, it's like, do I want to play this, or do I want to play Swarming Gloomveil?
No, you want
right. I think Florian's fine on this. It's interesting though because it says create rune chants tokens equal to the number, so he would only create X plus 1. He wouldn't create 2X.
Yeah.
But I still think that Florian's likely the one to play this. I don't know.
Who has all
the art
this?
on this is really neat, and I think that's probably the best part about this. But
I think so.
The Rune folks out there can tell me if I'm wrong.
There's the other one that came out. It's another expansion slot. Was it last? I think it was a Mistveil. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was dependent on like you need to have like 4 blues to pitch, and then you play that.
Oh, you're talking about the chi one that'll come in for 20 if you pitch 9 chi to it.
Yeah. Or no. It's I'm sorry, I forget the name, but it's like if you create 6 or more, they banish a card, but it's like it has to be a perfect situation where you have 4 blues that you pitch to it. I forget what it was, but it just seemed like too pie in the sky to be real.
We do have Warcry of Themis, whatever. It came out. So this is for your Prism.
This is me. My Prism.
So it's a 0-drop action with Goes.
Yep.
Your next angel attack, it's +4. But it also has kind of the dual threat, dual purpose. No. Instant discard it, banish X cards from your soul, turn X target cards in a banished zone face down. So meaning they become nullified.
Essentially not, like in their zone. Like,
so that's interesting.
Situational, but it
seems very targeted to me against Levia.
Yeah, it's only Levia that it would, or it's the blood debt that you're trying to turn off, right?
It says in a banished zone. Now, as Prism, I don't know how many, but like I'm thinking against new. I don't know how many blues you're playing as Prism, but you could actually do it to yourself to turn off your blues.
Oh, yeah, that's a really interesting.
That
deal.
Seems pretty edge case.
Yeah,
but
and again, like so, it has to be face up in Levia for her to like play them again.
For her to recur them, for her her Demi-Gon or whatever.
What about Vincent? Like, is it the same way with?
But they wouldn't have blood debt in that case. So
okay. Yeah. Sounds like I do love. This is just like the Warcry Bologna. That one. I saw earlier. It has like it'll do this, but also it has another utility. I like that.
Did you see the CNC reprinted as a legendary rarity? different art.
Okay, I gotta say that's some of the best art I've seen on any of their cards. It's a legendary. Am I correct? Didn't they do this again?
They did. At Dynasty, it was a Fable.
It was a Fable. Oh, okay, so this is legendary. So a step down, but still like unachievable.
So, I guess I'm trying to figure out how to ask this because at a pure money standpoint, like let's assume that this will be more expensive than a base CNC, right? So CNC is like what, 80 to 100? I don't know what it is today.
I always think it's 100.
Yeah,
I always think it's
80 to 100. So we'll assume that this will be more than that because, you know, the kids out there got to have 3 of them. Yeah. I don't know who those kids are. They're not my kids. Whatever. Those kids got to have 3 of them, right? But from a money standpoint, you're like, sweet, I got a hit, I guess. But like, if I'm opening this and it's one of my legendaries in my case, like, it kind of sucks. And not from a monetary, but like from a like, I want to get like the new boots,
the playable things for the new things. And it's nobody. If you don't have a CNC, this would be like a huge day for you.
Yeah, but it's legendary. Then just do it as an M.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know how, like, why. I don't understand the argument for why not making. I understand people want rarity, they want high prices, but what if it was reprinted and it was just a Majestic
with different art? And like, I think in a vacuum, this would probably come out and be more expensive than the other. Like, if it was an M, I mean, like this would come out and probably still at least at first be more expensive than the other ones.
It still hold a lot.
Now it would drive net overall down.
Yeah, everyone.
Like, I don't think that's a problem statement.
I don't think so. Like anyone who's holding on to 100 or so, I don't know, like CNCs from the old days. I'm not too upset. I'm sorry, but like it shouldn't be a financial move to like hoard these. I think it should, like, yes, I want it to retain value, but it doesn't have to be $100. Why not 50?
I guess my issue is like I almost would have rather have seen this been the Fable again because like it doesn't. I don't know.
It puts it in a weird spot.
I can't really back that up with like logic. It's just how I feel. Like I would have rather have had this been a chase card that was a Fable because I don't think it does anything to the market. Being a legendary is my point, right? Like I don't think it helps as a reprint.
It doesn't dip it, or
so I would have rather seen it been like the Fable and then not eating up one of my like legendary spots. But maybe that's the point. Maybe they're trying to make overall legendaries be less frequent by putting this in there and thus driving the price of legendary. I don't know.
This has got to be their like trying. I'll say this about LSS. They must be like, we have to fix this. Like this is like a crucial card, a competitive card. It is outrageously expensive.
This doesn't fix it, though.
Yeah, but it must be their like shot. They must have like had meetings about this. I don't know. I'm imagining board meetings about CNC, and they're like, "What do we do?"
The board meeting has commenced.
Yeah,
huzzah!
What do we do about this CNC? I feel like they have big conversations about CNC, and I feel like they landed there. I don't think it's where it should be. I think it would be better Majestic or Fable, like you said.
Well, I mean, it didn't land where it did because of LSS. It landed where it did because of the market. But
yeah. I mean, they were like, "What's going on here?" Yeah.
All right. We did see the Marvel Crackney,
which we knew. We knew that these Marvels would.
Yeah. So what's fun about this is he's not a token, or sorry, they are not a token in the set. But they're being included as part of the pre-release pack. So if you go to a pre-release, you'll get 1 copy in your little cellophane pack of Crackney full art.
So it's not like you don't have to open it to get it, but you have it as an option.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if you're into the game 3 months from now, then yeah, you're SOL, right? But like there's gonna be a ton of them available. I think that's like the better way to do it than like the Ira thing comparatively, right?
Yeah. So
I think this is fine. I'm personally going to play the shit out of this hero.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't like this art, but I'm still going to play the shit out of this hero because I really like this hero.
I don't know what's happening in the art. I don't know if it's coming out of like Dimension X. I don't know what's going on. But I love the transforming, the masks, the identity.
No. This is ASC. This is not Marionette. This is not Chaos. Well, sorry, they are Chaos Assassin.
I'm getting mixed up.
But this is not Roll the Dice Arachne. This is ASC. This is adult.
No,
ASC.
you are ASC freaking main.
This is adult ASC.
It makes sense. No, ASC main, by the way, is it was already like intriguing to me before this, and all of a sudden we have the adult version, which is amazing.
Yeah, and so the reason I'm so hard on Arachne right now is because of Celery.
Yeah.
Because Celery doesn't get where the heck is it? Oh, it's a token. It's at the bottom. Sorry. So Celery doesn't get go again naturally.
You have to have
if you
mark,
want to lead with it for ASC, giving you the first.
Yeah.
Or yes mark. But I think I'm still not super convinced that marked is going to be competitively viable. But there's quite a bit of marked in this set.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the smart kids do with it, right? But
we will see.
Interesting.
It's gonna be fun though.
Thoughts overall? I mean, again, I know we definitely cherry picked cards going through this.
Yeah, which is fun.
You having seen some of these for the first time, thoughts?
My thoughts are this. This is, and again, don't attack me. You're all attack me. I think
don't even say that. They're just going to do it. It'll be fine.
I think limited. This is going to be one of the best limited experiences.
Do you think? Interesting. So
I think I don't know. I feel like it wraps up.
Justify.
I think this. Not just the art or the themes, but it takes me back to the Outsiders theme of like everyone's throwing blood rots and everyone's kind of like has the same like agenda. The story behind it by itself, that's a side note. I feel like I follow it easier. I follow it better. It's more fun. You got this army coming after the assassins. They got identities. What's going on? But leaving that alone, I feel like there is going to be. I've only seen this. Like I just saw this now. I feel like the synergy is going to work. I don't know about Fang, but but I do know that like the rest of it, like the synergy is going to work. And I don't know how this changes too much in the rest of the formats. Obviously, there's some tools here, there's tools there, but I feel like it's going to be a very standalone like this. Like for me, heavy hitters again. The biggest fan of heavy hitters.
Well, I mean, this is way more complex.
Yeah, the complexity is way deeper, but I feel like it's more even in a bubble than even heavy hitters was, and I feel like it's going to work really well there. It's going to be the kind of thing that I think I'm going to buy a box and keep it and try like over the years. Like, okay, well then every once in a while I'll bring it out, play some limited as like an event.
So that's interesting actually, because I don't. I know you and I have talked about bringing everyone else into our conversation. We've talked a bit about doing that, but I think, my perception of our discussions is that we actually prefer sealed. And in that case, you'd probably need to keep more than one box because you can only get 3 sealed out of one box.
Yeah. When I say limited, I mean that. I mean like 6 packs, like sealed limited.
Well, limited's 8 packs now. Sorry. Sealed is 8 packs. Draft is still.
Oh, okay.
You could get 8. You could get 8 drafts, 8 draft individuals. Whether you do it as a 4 or as an 8, however you do it at your kitchen table.
To be specific,
draft is 3, sealed is 8. So you only get 3 3 sealed players out of a box now.
Gotcha.
I mean, you can do it at 6 to be fair. Like that's fair. If you're doing it 2 years from now, nobody cares. That's fair.
Yeah, no one cares. I do mean the sealed though. I don't mean the draft. Right, to me, I love getting the packs itself, and I feel like that bubble, its own thing, is going to be better than that. Better than heavy hitters was even. And I know it's huge. It's going to be more complex though. I know that's huge. But I love heavy hitters, and I feel like this is going to be a more like, all right, now
that's interesting.
Yeah, I could be wrong in this. I'm going to see what happens on pre-release.
I feel like you and I need to go buy a box and go to McMinimans.
I think we do.
Find out who's correct.
I'll cheers to that. Absolutely, I'll cheers to that.
Cheers.
Let's do it.
We need one more, Kevin.
Yeah, come on in. Hey.
All right, let's. I don't know how long I've been going, but I hear that the family's home and they're trying so hard to be quiet and they're doing so good.
You guys.
Bless my 4-year-old. Oh my God. He's trying his best. But we need to cook dinner, and we need to end this because no one's watching at this point anyway. Yeah. So if you are still here, James, Kevin, You know who you are.
You good folks.
It's Steven watching himself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me. Or Lisa.
Or Lisa.
Go
Lisa, by the way.
Yeah.
Big heart.
Yeah, thank
Big
you
heart.
so much. Yeah.
Thank you for lending me.
You made this happen.
Thank you for lending me your man.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's kill this. Cheers.
Go Commando.
Go Commando.